Hello YouTube, it's PokeTie90 and I'm here with our team builder for week 3 of season 4 of the UTA as the coach of your Cleveland Browns, of course. So if you haven't watched the previous weeks of this, they'll be in the playlist, so definitely check them out. But we're on to week 3 now. So you can see here we have a 2-0 record with 11 differentials, so doing real well. I did mention last week we made some trades going into last week, so nothing new effective this week, but we have the Dragapult, Sylveon, Arcanine, Empoleon, Weavile, who's hiding for some reason, Machamp, who's also hiding for some reason, Stunfisk, Galar, Mega Arrow, Serena, and Poliwrath. So that is our full roster, the two Zmons being the Dragapult and the Arcanine. And this week we are up against TweeElephant and the California Cufants, I don't know how, that thing. Who, though he does not have a win yet and does not have great differential, I'm actually pretty concerned about some of these matchups. So he has Mega Kangaskhan, Aegislash, Goodra, Galarian Weezing, Espeon, Rotom Heat, Quagsire, Zeldelmize, Zlando T, and Togetic. Looking at this matchup, well, first here we can scroll over and see. Yeah, so only one Rocker in Lando T, T-Spikes and Weezing Galarian, and that's it as far as setting hazards. So not too much there. Some good momentum with the Volt switch of Lando T, Rotom Heat. Yeah, so that's really the main thing there. But looking at this, the things that jumped out at me, so obviously Mega Kangaskhan, Seismic Toss is banned, but it can do all its other shenanigans, so, Power Up Punch is a thing. And Aegislash, those are obviously big threats. Goodra, Galarian Weezing, Quagsire, Rotom Heat, Lando T, those things are all things that I'm really actually not loving Quagsire's matchup here. I think that's going to do a lot of work against me. And then, Espeon's cool. Delmize, I don't think he's brought yet at all. And Togetic, can be annoying, but we know my roster has definitely got some knockoff potential, so I think that'll kind of keep that from coming. But yeah, overall, I think the Goodra and Quagsire are the ones I'm most worried about as far as breaking. And then, being broken by some other things. So, with that being said, let's jump right into my team builder. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry for the little hiccup there, but I was having some software issues. Also, sorry for my hair, but quarantine, everything's been shut down, so I haven't been able to get a haircut in a while. Yeah, so here we go. First, I have Arcanine. I love my Z Arcanines of various sorts. I thought this week, with that Quagsire being such a threat, we're going to have Grassinium Z, or Grassium, I guess there's no N, but okay, Grassium Z, Solar Beam to kill all Quagsires that could ever exist. I know that he does have Goodra, which can have Sap Sipper, so I do expect that, so I'm not going to go for it first time. But we have Will-O-Wisp, which does a lot of work. I am fast enough here to outspeed Max Jolly Lando T, and with Intimidate, I do plan on leading this as he likes to lead the Lando T, and we'll see if he's scarfed or not immediately. If I outspeed with the Intimidate, I can just go for a free Willow. I thought about Flash Fire to boost it if he switches out to Espeon, but I thought, then I'm not going to know if he's scarfed or not, and I'd rather not take a Scarf EQ first turn. So, yeah, we're just staying this way. So that's what we've got going on here. So yeah, as I mentioned, the set, I'm wanting to outspeed that. Flamethrower just to hit hard, especially to hit, what's its face? Especially to hit Aegislash, and then HP Ice for the Lando T. Yeah, so that's really what that set's all about. We have Empoleon here. Some shenanigans with this Empoleon, so I want to be slower than the Aegislash so that if it goes for an attack, it switches to Blade. I can take that and then kill it back. It has Defiant, so if a Lando T comes in, I get the +1. I am as physically fat as I can be so that I can take hits and get the weakness policy to proc. And once I do get to the weakness policy boost, then it's just Aqua Jet for days, since obviously everything outspeeds me. Knockoff is just for switch-ins if I'm not getting any boosts from either of those. Liquidation again for switch-ins. Grass Knot to hit the Quagsire that could definitely come in. And yeah, I think that does like 80 to 90%. I don't exactly remember, but yeah, that's kind of the plan for this set. I know a little weird with the Defiant, the weakness policy, and then like no speed, and yeah, it's odd for my typical Empoleon shenanigans, but we'll see how this works. And then finishing off our Fire, Water, Grass is Serena. First time that she's coming this week. So this one, oh, I could give it the extra 4. We'll put it there. Okay, so Sweet Veil in case Quagsire goes for Yawn, because apparently Sweet Veil is a thing that this Pokemon and its allies can't fall asleep, so that's cool. Aromatherapy just to support the team. Rapid Spin if he does get up. Things like Toxic Spikes, or the rocks from the Lando, but probably Toxic Spikes. Trap Kick, that's the grass move to kill Quagsire, because that's a thing that is scary. And then Knockoff just helps always, everything except for the Kangaskhan. So speaking of the Kangaskhan, you can definitely switch in for totally free on this thing, except the Drop Kick does get the attack lower, so that would be good. But yeah, so this Serena, I'm not really sure. I'm not loving this. I don't think it's going to change before the battle, but it's an interesting set, and I'm pretty excited to use it. Then we've got last week's MVP, Machamp. There was no official MVP, but obviously for our team, he was the MVP. So similar set to last week, but a few differences. So I did give it the speed down nature, and now I'm trying to remember why. Was I that concerned that Aegislash was also going to be speed down? Because Aegislash, I believe, is 60. And his roster, does he have things that that have speed between 55 and like nothing? So this might have me slower than Delmise, Togetic, Quagsire. Yeah, I think making myself slower than a Togetic, if that were to come before getting the knockoff off, is not a good thing. So I think I am going to go special attack down, and then hopefully that doesn't ruin me, but how much did that actually change it? 15 points. So yeah, we'll just do the special attack down, because obviously I don't need special attack, and should still outslow the Aegislash, since I'm 5 points lower than it in base, and be able to get the EQs and the knockoffs off. Alright, oh, sorry, didn't really go through the moves, just the looking at that. So we have Close Combat, Ice Punch, Earthquake, and Knockoff. Again, Knockoff is just general goodness. Ice Punch hits that Goodra, hits Lando T. Earthquake hits the Aegislash, that's its name. And then Close Combat hits everything as hard as it can. Really sad this thing doesn't get Drain Punch. It should get any punch move that exists, but yeah, Close Combat will have to just do some bonus damage. Okay, over here we have Arrow, Mega Arrow. So Hone Claws at +1. Hone Claws can wreck almost everything. I can't really do anything at all to Quagsire, which is why I'm not loving this Quagsire and want it to die very quickly, but at +1 and with accuracy that makes these two moves perfect, Stone Edge hits so much hard, Ice Fang hits many things hard, and flinch and freeze potential, but I just want to kill the Lando T and the Goodra. Earthquake for the Aegislash. Yeah, so that's really what this set is about. The speed, Adamant, 60. So I'm so close to being able to outspeed everything that can be Scarf, but I'm just a few points off. So I just missed outspeeding Scarf Rotom Heat and Scarf Lando T when I go to Max Jolly. So then I was able to just say, well, forget it, and hardly invest anything in speed, and this outspeeds all non-boosted things. So at Adamant 60 speed, I outspeed Espeon. And that's actually something, is if he's Scarfed, he has a 12.5% chance to two-shot me with Psychic. So I think I'm going to set up against Espeon And if I do find myself out against that, so I'll just go Mega Hone Claws. If he is something like Specs, well, obviously he'll only get 1 hit off on me. If he's Scarfed, he'll get 2 hits, and he has a 12.5% chance, but I'll be able to kill back, and if he's Scarfed there, then that means he probably doesn't have other Scarfed Mons. I mean, not always, but that would mean I'm going to outspeed everything at +1. So hopefully, you know, Quagsire's done that, and that can be a sweep. And then finally, we have another Mon's first week coming. So we have Stunfisk, Galarian form. So it has leftovers. Its ability shouldn't really mean anything this week. But it has Earthquake, Stealth Rock, Yawn, which are all pretty standard for this thing. You know, Earthquake to hit the Aegislash, and especially being slower than it, and I can take hits from it. And then that last move, Snap Trap. So basically I just needed some filler move, but it is grass. It doesn't do but like 20% to Quagsire, but to trap it in there, and then I can go for Yawn, I can set up my Stealth Rocks, I can, you know, get the leftovers, because Quagsire can probably do about 45% to Stunfisk if it's going for Scald, because Earthquake, you know, Earthquake is 2 times effective, but I do have max defense, so it probably wants to go for that special, which I don't know, Earth Power or Scald, or, you know, one of those things. But yeah, Snap Trap to trap it in, and then I can Yawn to make it sleep. I can set up rocks, so that's kind of the plan there. Mostly because I just didn't love any other moves. I did look at Foul Play for Aegislash, but I have Earthquake. Yes, there's the fear that it's Air Balloon, but if it is, I can Snap Trap it. And that's just fun to say, Snap Trap. So overall, there's my roster. As I mentioned, you know, not loving Quagsire this matchup. I think, you know, Serena has the Trop Kick. You know, Stunfisk can do a little, trap it, get it low, get it asleep, and then let something revenge. Machamp's Close Combat just does a truckload. And then, you know, I do have that Grass Knot there on the Empoleon to, you know, as a last thing, as well as the Solar Beam on the Arcanine. But that's the thing that really worries me the most. So, you know, we'll watch like Gudra or Mega Kangaskhan just put in infinite work. We'll see. But yeah, that's where we are now. Not super confident about this matchup in spite of our very off differential and records. I think that there's a lot of very tough ones on this roster. I think my opponent did make some changes after this week, so we'll see if they, you know, how much they change things up, but I had trouble building this week, probably more than any other week. But that being said, I'm going to have the battle here in just a few minutes, I think, so I will be up with the battle soon, probably on Monday on the holiday, so something to look forward to there. But thank you all for watching. Let's go Grounds, and see you soon. Okay everyone, sorry, I am back for a little PS announcement here. So I did end up looking at the team, and in spite of how much I'm worried about Quagsire, I feel like with the, you know, with the Solar Beam, the Grass Knot, the shenanigans with this, with the trapping it, I felt like, maybe I'm good against the Quagsire, and Gudra was a little more worrisome, and I thought actually Weavile would be great to come this week. So this Weavile, I am Life Orb, Icicle Crash, Low Kick, and Knockoff. It hits everything that I need to hit that I have an ability to hit, and then that last move, Taunt, you know, if I have knocked off the switch in and it's not very dead, I can go for a Taunt. So that can be things like Togetic if he brings it, Galarian Weezing, and Quagsire. If any of those things have already been knocked off and then I switch out and then I'm back in, they come in, I can just taunt them. I am losing my removal, but with his very minimal hazard setup that he has, because if he sets up the Toxic Spikes, you know, I have essentially 4 Mons that are immune to it, and if he sets up Rocks, well, I do have, you know, 3 that are weak to that, but that's a Lando T that he's wasting on Rocks, which could be bad, but I don't know that he'll do that with a Z Lando T. So yeah, anyways, Weezing's coming. Sorry, Serena, I just didn't quite love too much of the matchup. And I was also a little concerned about Kangaskhan setting up. If it got like a power-up punch, only Mega Arrow outspeeds. So to have Weavile there to also outspeed Max, a jolly 100. So that's why, that's another reason why I felt like I needed to bring the Weavile, with that low kick Life Orb, it's going to hit hard. So again, battle will be real soon. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys then.